my name's Ruby and I am 19 years old. I live in the UK and today I thought that I would try to do the SAT. I've only ever really heard about it fleetingly in books, or some of my friends who are from America have mentioned the SAT before and how it puts a lot of pressure on young people in American high schools. I also read quite a lot about it in this book, which is The Overachievers, The Secret Lives of Driven Kids by Alexandra Robbins, and it talks about the SATs there and how they put so much pressure on themselves. You can like redo them, but you've got to pay to redo them. It's a very different system to what we have in the UK. In the UK, you do one set of exams called GCSEs when you're in year 11. Then you do a second set of external exams when you're in year 13, which are called your A-levels, and your A-level grades will determine which university you go to. So I just want to give my opinions on the SAT as someone looking at the exam from the UK. What do I think of the SAT? Do I think it's a good thing? And then I have actually printed off this SAT practice exam, which I'm going to be attempting, and I have no idea how this is going to go. I don't even know the format of this. I haven't looked at the questions, I just printed it. I might be very mistaken about the SAT. I might have got it wrong. I'm just going to tell you what I think it is. From what I know, the SAT is a standardized test that high school students will take in either their sophomore or their senior year, and I believe that you can take it as many times as you want, but you have to pay to take it every single time. Now, I find that quite interesting. The fact that you can take it an unlimited number of times, but you have to pay for it every time. Surely that is extremely biased in favour of those who have the money to be able to take the test again and again. So yeah, I think that's just kind of off the bat, I think that's a really big issue with it. Also, I've been told by friends of mine who live in America that the SAT is 4 hours long. That is absurd. 4 hours for an exam sounds awful. Typically our exams in the UK at A-level, which is your last year of school, my shortest exam was an hour and my longest was 3 hours. And I know there's not that much of a difference maybe between 3 and 4 hours. I mean, it's only an hour difference, but 4 hours does seem like a very long time. But then at the same time, it's only one exam, whereas in the UK you have to do a whole exam season, and so your exams, I think it's the same maybe as like final season in America. But I had 8 exams, but none of them were as long as 4 hours. So I mean, I think 4 hours is too long for an exam, but I don't think it's crazy. I don't like the idea of doing a 4-hour exam, but I understand it could be worse. Another really key difference between the SAT and A-levels is that you can apply to universities with your SAT score, and I think that is a better system, like taking your SAT early so that you can use your score to apply to universities, because then you know more where you are. In the UK we apply for universities, but we apply with our predicted grades, and then if we don't get our predicted grades, then we just don't get into the schools that we've applied for. So I feel like the SAT provides more certainty, which is definitely a good thing. But also, I mean, one problem that I have with exams of all kinds is that some people just are not good exam takers, and so I don't think they are entirely reflective of your academic ability. I don't think they can be. I know lots of people are really against the SAT in the US, so I'm kind of excited to take this. I don't know how I'm gonna do. Obviously, as well, as I said, I'm not a high school student or a school student. I'm at university. I'm 19, and so I'm obviously taking this at an older age than I should be taking it, so obviously keep that in mind. Okay, so here we go. Practice test. I'm actually kind of nervous for this. Do I need exam conditions? I'm not going to take 4 hours to do this as well. Oh, I've also heard you can only use pencil. That's really strange. Like, we're allowed to use black pen, any kind of black ink. So if this was filled with black ink, I could use my fountain pen. So section 1 is a reading test. In our English language GCSE, we are given a reading test where we've got to give like a summary of what's being said in a passage, but we're not given multiple choice. I don't think multiple choice questions aren't really a thing in the UK. We never really have multiple choice questions, so it's quite funny that like the whole of this paper is multiple choice. So I'm not actually a big fan of multiple choice. This is actually harder than I thought. Look, Which choice best describes the developmental pattern of the passage? A careful analysis of a traditional practice, a detailed depiction of a meaningful encounter, a definite response to a series of questions, a cheerful recounting of an amusing anecdote. It's one of the first two, but it's like hard to, it could be both. And the fact it's multiple choices means that there's no room for debate. Like, you could argue that it's the first one, but it could very well also be the second.
I ended up doing about half of the reading section.
And now I've gone on to section 2, and this is the writing and language test. Okay, so let's read the directions. This first piece is all about Greek yogurt. How fascinating. This is fun. Oh my gosh, you've got to find, for clarity's sake, the best word to replace the one that's been put. This is actually fun. Okay, I did a few more pages of section 2 than I did of section 1, and I'm going to go on to the maths test, no calculator. I study English at university, and I haven't done maths since GCSE. I did do chemistry A-level, which included some math skills, but I have no idea how this is going to go. If x minus 1 over 3 equals k. I am actually going to cheat though. I'm going to use a pen instead because I really don't like doing questions in pencil. I really cannot remember how you do this kind of question. It's like adding brackets. I know how to multiply them, but I can't remember how to add them. Oh, and this question was confusing. Oh, I think I can do this.
This bit seems rather confusing. I didn't print off an answer sheet, but I don't really know how I'd use it if I did.
I have no idea how to do this question. I put 1,600 feet, which I know is not right. I just can't remember any of my triangle theorems.
Please excuse this pathetic attempt for working.
I really do think that that section went badly, but we finished with the non-calculator and we're going to go on to calculator. Is this the final section? Wow, it's a long calculator section. Is it me, or is this the weirdest way ever of writing it? If 16 plus 4x is 10 more than 14, what is the value of 8x? Instead of just saying, is 24. Oh my gosh, I've only just remembered how to add brackets, so I've got like 5 questions wrong, which I might have to go back and redo. I can do it now, and that makes me so happy. Wow, this is a throwback to GCSE maths indeed, so I think I'm gonna get this one right. Whoa. Okay, I've actually scheduled a Zoom call for now, so I've got 2 pages left of the test and I will come back to that later to do. I'm finding it okay, actually, if I'm honest. Some of the maths questions are quite hard, like I can't really remember studying them. I wouldn't say it's as bad as I thought it would be. Okay. It's the next day now. As you can see, I'm wearing something else. So I've actually nearly finished the paper. The maths questions aren't that different to the kind of thing we did at GCSE. Like, I haven't come across anything that I don't know how to do. I feel like the math section is less confusing. They don't really throw you that many curveballs. I haven't seen too many red herrings, whereas with the English questions that was very much the case, and it seemed like all of them could be right. So they made that very, very confusing. Okay, Okay, I said I thought I'd done everything at some point at school. I don't think we ever did circles on graphs, and if we did, I just don't remember how to do it. Okay, as we're going through this, I realised there are a few things that I don't think I covered, or if I did, I just can't remember it. Quadrants, I don't remember learning about quadrants. And then the next question is about polynomials, which again, I don't think we did.
So when I finished the maths questions, I went back and did one more section of the reading.
Wow, there are a lot of those reading questions, and they were actually really tiresome, like they're so repetitive. So I haven't done the last two sections of the reading, and I haven't done the last section of the writing, but I've done all of the maths, and I'm gonna just average the marks that I got in those first sections and just multiply them. This is it. Found the answer sheet, and now I'm going to be going through and marking my paper. Okay, the non-calculator section was okay. It started off really quite good and then slowly got quite bad. I mean, I don't think I did terribly. I got the trigonometry question very, very wrong. I just didn't really know what to do for it. I know that you had to use SOHCAHTOA, but that didn't give me the right answer, so let's try the calculator. Let's see how I did on this. B, okay, on a good start. C, I thought of C again. I was like, oh no, I thought D was right, yay. I've just finished marking it. I would say I didn't do terribly. I only missed out one question on the math section, which was question 36. This one. Also, it's really confusing because I actually wrote it in red pen when I was doing it and I wasn't thinking about it, so you can see it looks like it's all marking, but there's a slightly different red.
The answer was 3. I also got this one completely wrong. This is the pi one. I was like, I don't know.
I think the section I did worst on was probably the reading, which I'm not surprised about because I really overthink things, and I am shocked at like just how easy it is to get the wrong answer on those, because I mean I understood that passage. There wasn't any ambiguity as to what it was saying, and yet the way that the SAT structures its reading questions is really confusing. So I really feel for everyone in America having to do that reading section. I think the other sections, the writing, I thought was really straightforward. I think that was the easiest section in the paper, and the maths I think was, it's really not too different, apart from the fact it's multiple choice. It's really not too different to what we have in the UK, but the reading I thought was really, really tricky. I'm speaking as an English student and as someone who is good at reading. Okay, so I have calculated my marks. I got 14 out of 20 for the non-calculated section and 28 out of 38 for the calculated section in maths, and I put that into this calculator here. It's like an SAT average score calculator. I don't know how accurate it is, but that comes out with a math score of 660. I don't know if that's good or bad. And then for reading and writing, oh, I got 34 out of 38 for writing and 35 out of 52 for reading. That reading, again, I am just so surprised at how hard that is. And I came out with 680. So added together, that is 1,340. I don't know what the scoring is like. I know it's out of 1,600, I believe. So I am going to do some research. I'm going to try and find the grade equivalent of 1,300. Is 1,340 a good SAT score? Here we go. Is very good and places you in the top 91st percentile nationally. Obviously the thing to remember is that I'm doing this as a 19-year-old when I think you take the SAT when you're 17 or 16, so a lot younger than I am. And also I'm an English student. I study English at university, so I should do well on the writing and reading sections. I've got to say I am pleasantly surprised that I did well like okay on the maths, because I haven't done maths in a long time. I guess that might show that the content which is covered on the SAT for the maths section is very similar to the kind of content that we learn in maths GCSE here in the UK. Most of those questions I could answer. As I mentioned when I was doing it, there were maybe 3 or 4 questions that I really couldn't answer, and I just guessed because I don't think I'd learned the content before at school. I actually want to see how much is it to take the SAT test. For the 2019 to 2020 school year, the SAT cost $49.50 to take. That's insane. That is so much money. $50 to sit that exam, and then if you ended up taking it again, like more than once, you could end up spending hundreds of dollars taking this test. That, like, in the UK we don't have to pay to take our exams unless you do it privately, like your school will pay the fee. So I hope you enjoyed watching this video. It's very different to the kind of thing I usually do, but I thought it was really fun to do, and it definitely got my brain working. Yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I hope that you have a productive week.